Students, welcome to our class. Students, in my last lecture, I teach you the concept of GST, the meaning of GST and its type. Okay, so today I am going to teach you the characteristics of GST. Characteristics and objective of GST. So students, as you know, GST is goods and services tax. Goods and services tax. Okay, so this tax is levied on from consumption, sale. Okay, so this is levied from sale, consumption, revived in the form of sale, consumption and manufacturing goods and services. So this is the meaning of goods and services tax. Okay, so this is not paid directly, this is paid indirectly through the seller. Okay, so now the characteristics. Okay, so the first characteristic is that it is indirect tax. So GST, goods and services tax, is indirect tax. Okay, it replaces all indirect tax. It replaces all indirect taxes. And why it is indirect tax? Because it is paid through the seller. Okay, paid through the seller, because when we buy something, okay, in the price of commodity, the GST is added. In this value added tax. So GST is value added tax because the percentage of GST is added in the price of goods. Okay, so next is the third, uniformity in tax rate. Uniformity in tax rate. Okay, so GST rate is uniform throughout the country. Okay, so rates of GST are uniform all over in India. Okay, so all over India, GST rates are same. Okay, so the fourth is GST paid is not cost. GST paid is not cost. Why it is not cost? Because GST paid is not cost. It is the asset of the purchaser, as it can be set off against the GST collected on the sale of goods. Okay, so let me explain this topic. Is GST is not a cost to the seller. Okay, so if seller purchase raw material from some supplier, he also paid GST, because GST is added in the price of raw material. Okay, raw material. After that, so at that time seller paid the GST. After that, when seller sell the good to the consumer, okay, at that time the seller collect GST from consumer. Okay, so first of all he was the payer of the GST. After that he was the collector of GST. Okay, so he was set against. Okay, so it can collect the GST which he paid to the earlier. Okay, so it is not the cost to the seller, it is the, okay, so it is, he can set off the, he can set off the cost of GST, amount of GST when he receive it from the their further buyer. GST collected, GST collected is not income, because GST collected by the seller or by the any supplier, it is its responsibility, it is a liability. Okay, it is the liability of the business of the seller that the amount which he collected as a GST, he should deposit to the government. Okay, so next point is differential rates. The sixth point, differential rates. Okay, so the differential rate means GST levied on both goods and services mainly for tax slabs are applicable. Okay, so in every good the tax slabs are given. Okay, so these tax slabs are constant, does not change, that is 5%, 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. So these are the different tax GST slabs which are classified, which are given according to the goods and services. Okay, so these are the similar. If there is a one good on which 5% is applied, to all these similar good 5% GST is applied, and respectively in other cases the same it is. Okay, so these are the characteristics of GST. First is indirect tax, second is value added tax, GST paid is not cost, it is third, uniformity in tax rate, fourth, GST collected is not income, and differential rates are there. These objectives of GST, that why GST is implemented in India. First objective is abolished multiple type of taxes. Okay, abolish multiple type of taxes. So when the GST comes, it abolished multiple of type of tax, because GST substitute indirect taxes. Okay, so there are number of indirect taxes, there are taxes on tax. Okay, to reduce the burden on the general public regarding the indirect taxes. Okay, so GST is come and it abolished multiple type of taxes. This is the first objective. The second objective is GST help to increase the revenue of the government. Increase revenue of government. Okay, so GST leads to, because GST is indirect tax. Okay, it is collected by the seller or by the supplier through consumption, manufacturing or sale. Okay, so this leads to increasing the revenue of the government. Next is GST has effected rate of tax to the maximum of floor rates. Effected maximum floor rates. Floor rates are those rates at which loans are given to the general public by the bank or the other financial institution. Okay, when the GST comes, it leads to maximum effect on the floor rate. Maybe floor rates are reduced so that anyone can take loan at a least rate of interest. Next is reduce compliance cost. Now what is compliance cost? Reduce compliance cost. So compliance cost is the cost which is which is the expenses incurred by the tax authority when they have to induce the general public to pay the tax. Okay, so cost of compliance means number of expenses are incurred to aware the general public about the taxes. When the GST come, the reduce of compliance cost is there. Okay. Fifth is GST minimize cost of production of goods and services. Okay, the objective is minimize cost of production. How the cost of production is minimized? Because the number of taxes are abolished. Okay, so when the amount of taxes are increased, it leads to the effect on the price of goods, or we can say the price of raw material. Okay, when the GST come into existence, okay, number of taxes are reduced, so the price of raw material also goes downward. Okay, also decreases, so it lead to minimize the cost of production of the producers. They get raw material at least prices. Next is due to minimization of cost of demand and production, goods or services are increased. Okay, now cost of production is decreased. This lead to increase in quality, and also cost of production is minimized. It leads down to decrease in prices. When prices are decreased, it increase in demand. Okay. The seventh is GST remove cascading effect. So cascading effect means tax on taxes. Taxes on tax. Okay, so when the GST come, it substitute all the indirect tax and one single tax is come, that is GST goods and services tax. Okay, so it also reduce the cascading effect when the taxes are applied on tax also. Okay, so the eighth is GST extend competition in international market, increase competition. The effect of GST, the objective of GST is increase competition in international market. And the ninth point is GST promote economic growth. The objective why GST is come into existence, to GST promote economic growth of the country, because through GST the inflation is also controlled down. Okay, so when the inflation is controlled down, it affect on the economic growth of the country. The last and the 10th point of objective is why GST is introduced. GST would help to increase foreign direct investment. Increase foreign direct investment. Why it increase foreign direct? When GST is abolished, when GST is introduced, number of indirect taxes are abolished. Okay, so foreign investors are attract to the economy, to the country, so that they can invest, because they know that now the taxation system is giving some relaxation to them, give some type of relaxation. After that, when they see that number of taxes are abolished, now they can do their business, okay, in a effective way. So this increase the foreign direct investment in the country.